all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling.
You can
and
stop
it
at
stunk
5
so
or
bad.
6 stores, or just one.
I live in a town called Woodbridge. It's the biggest singular concentration of Italians outside of Italy. Even though we are in the midst of a pandemic, no one wants to wear a mask. They recently made a law that you have to wear the mask, and everyone sticks their noses up at it. Quite literally, they stick their noses out of the masks. Many would rather slap their own beloved grandparents than wear it, which is essentially the same thing. There's 37 bakeries in Woodbridge, but only 2 of them have good bread. Woodbridge is a place built by the sons and daughters of the first generation of Italian immigrants. The heroes, the ones who came here with nothing but the clothes on their back and the dream of a better life for their families. Also, their grandkids could spend their days smoking cigarettes in a Tim Hortons parking lot. And that there is my stoop.
What up, all you dirty dogs out there? Welcome to Goof Cinema. I'm Michael Primz, and today we're going to be talking about A Bronx Tale. For those of you who know me, I'm really big into mafia movies. Mafia movie. But A Bronx Tale's a movie that has just flown under my radar for far too long. But I finally got around to watching it, and it was amazing. I'll just start off by saying that. And it really differs itself from its precursors and its contemporaries. While watching a movie like The Godfather, Goodfellas, or even a TV show like The Sopranos, we cheer for the tragic hero, although they do horrible things, such as murder people, cheat on their wives, and pronounce cold cut names like Looney Tunes characters.
Gabagool.
Gabagool, Grandma.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
That gabagool.
Gabagool. A slice of gabagool.
The main characters of this movie, although products of their times living in an unforgiving and racially prejudiced 1960s New York, circumvent their reality with a lot more heart and humility than Henry Hill or Tony Soprano. This movie centers on Robert De Niro's Lorenzo, a blue-collar bus driver, and his son, Collura, living in a Bronx neighborhood. Lorenzo's motive the entire movie is to not have his son be a deadbeat, to not have his son follow in the footsteps of the local mafioso who hangs out at the bar next door named Sonny, played by Chaz Palminteri.
How to say? Chaz Palminteri.
I'm sorry, Chaz Palminteri, who actually created this movie based on a play he wrote about his life growing up in the Bronx. Sonny takes Collura under his wing, and it really seems like he's grooming him to be the next mob boss. You really feel Robert De Niro's performance here as he's trying to dissuade his son from following in Sonny's footsteps. But also, Sonny is not that bad in terms of mob bosses. Sonny doesn't do many stereotypical mob boss things in this movie. He doesn't break a guy's leg who owes him money. He doesn't commit adultery.
Should stay with my guma tonight.
And he doesn't even really whack anybody. He kills somebody at the beginning, but we're going to talk about that later. As Sonny makes the bold move to pursue an African-American girl named Jane, while he's surrounded by his friends all day who use the N-word constantly, he's actually encouraged to do so by Sonny and his father. That's pretty good.
You like this girl?
I do, but I don't want to hear all the guys. I don't want to hear
Fuck
their mouths.
those kids. Half of them are going to end up dead or in jail anyway. Nobody cares. The only thing that matters is what's good for you and how you feel about each other.
One of the only main acts of violence perpetuated by Sonny is when a bunch of bikers come into his bar and spray beer all over the bartender. Now, if I was in his situation and this was a Canadian bar and somebody sprayed a nice Muskoka craft lager all over me, Collective Arts brew, even a Moosehead, I would do like a Scooby-Doo tongue extension lick of my own face, and I'd let bygones be bygones. Obnoxious Canadian beer snob in 3, 2, 1. But in America, home of the piss loggers of all piss loggers, somebody hits me with a friggin' Bud Light Lime? Dude, I'm kicking somebody's ass. This is also Robert De Niro's directorial debut, and it was a great job. I mean, it's dripping with Scorsese influence everywhere you look, but I think he did awesome. Could you imagine De Niro directing? Probably looks something like this. Over here, kid. Attaboy. There's lots of great scenes in this movie. I love the scene where they're explaining everybody's nickname.
They called him Frankie Coffee Cake because his face looked like a Drake's coffee cake. He was tough to look at.
There's Johnny Shits His Pants Shittiano. They call him that because he crapped himself in the 3rd grade. Now he makes a living making other guys do the same. This guy here, they call him Fat Bobby the Fatso Mortadeli the Fat Face Fat Ass Fatano. And we call him that because he's fat.
What are you doing here? Didn't we tell you a million times not to come here?
This broad over here, that's my mother, and we call her Charmaine Bucco from the Sopranos.
Something's got to keep customers coming back, and it's not going to be your moshada raviolis lately.
One of the most famous scenes in this movie is Sonny's door test, where Sonny tells Collura, in order to tell if a girl is the right one or not, you gotta give her the door test.
What's the door test?
All right, listen to me. You pull her right where she is, right? Before you get out of the car, you lock both doors. Then you get out of the car, you walk over to her. You bring her over to the car. You take out the key, put in the lock, open the door for her. Then you let her get in. Then you close the door for her. Then you walk around the back of the car and you look through the rear window. If she doesn't reach over and lift up that button for you so you can get in, dump her.
When I was in the 7th grade, a neighbor told me to do this to a girl, although he claimed it as his own advice. And also, I did not drive a car in grade 7. I decided to try the door test on my own girlfriend to see if she was one of the great ones.
I mean, hey, this could be one of the great ones.
Bullshit, kid. The door test, that's what counts.
Hold on, let me get the door for you, Toots. Hey, yeah. Hang on in there. Okay. Try this thing. Okay, go all the way around. It's not doing it. All right. Oh, she's one of the great ones.
Well, what did you expect? You left me in a hot car. You had the keys the whole time. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, turns out she's one of the great ones. I told yous.
I love the use of music in this movie. I liked how it blurred the lines between being diegetic and non-diegetic. Plenty of times you think the music is a part of the soundtrack and then you realize it's being played by a jukebox in the bar. I like stuff like that. One of the greatest uses of music in this movie is when Collura's friends are throwing Molotov cocktails into a black-owned barbershop while Jimi Hendrix is playing. It's very ironic, and it uses music to inform our perception of the world that they're in while being a realistic part of it. This is ironic and really speaks to the paradox of the times. Black musicians were pushing the boundaries of popular music while not even being allowed to hang out outside of their own record shops. I love the scene at the end where Sonny's body lies in an empty funeral parlor surrounded by these huge displays of flowers. Since Sonny was never loved by his friends, simply feared and admired, his mourning is brief. His friends laugh and joke and then leave with these huge extravagant displays of flowers as a testament to him. A gift that will die in a matter of days, just like the memory and impact that he had on his friends. However, Collura stands in the empty room above Sonny's body because he's the only person that he really had a bond with. But then who walks in the cameo appearance of the century? Joe Mother Lovin' Pesci comes in and says, "Hey kid, remember when you were 9 and you witnessed Sonny kill some guy and you didn't know why up until this present moment? He killed that guy to protect me because he's a true friend." And I identify with that. Good on Sonny, man. If anybody was coming at my guy Joe Pesci, I wouldn't think twice. Kevin McAllister, I'll shoot him point blank. Oh, what are you gonna do? Lay saran wrap on the floor? The weird irony of this movie is that the guy who played Collura, Lilo Bracante Jr., who was told at least 50 times through the movie, hey dude, don't go into a life of crime, was arrested in 2005 and served 10 years in prison for murdering a police officer. Yeah, talk about wasted talent.
Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen.
Meanwhile, the guy who played Collura at 9 years old just looks like a guy who went to prison for 10 years. The only thing crazier than that is that this guy is not Rob Schneider. He's just a random Hells Angels biker. To conclude, this movie was well directed, well acted, and well written. The music was great, and I really loved all the cinematography and how it was presented. It thoroughly entertained me for 2 hours, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Goof Cinema says, check it out. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Goof Cinema. I'm Michael Primz. There's going to be more out soon, so please consider subscribing, and thanks for all the support on the first video. And, you know, I think I should end this video somewhere else. Transition. I guess I'll end this video where A Bronx Tale starts, on the stoop. Thank you for watching, and until I cover another movie that takes place in this neighborhood in New York, this is just another Bronx Tale.
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble. A gay, pleasant evening for all.
Gather round, come on, gather round!
All over the walls, the floor, the ceiling.
You can
and it
stop at
stunk
5
so
or
bad.
6 stores or